But we'll see. We'll see how long that thief sticks around.
All right, we're off.
Here we go.
We're slightly desynced, or maybe DM was just having a little bit of lag. I don't know. Cure 4 Red Mage learnable right out the gate, as well as Knight learnable. Nuke level 1. Oh.
Re-roll into double red, please.
Emphasis on the re.
Yeah, I would opt out of that thief right now. Although, what an armor +5. I mean, this is now we're approaching sunk cost fallacy.
Yes, yes, we are.
I would still throw that thief on the ground. Go get that second red mage. 3 nuke casters, 2 cure 4 casters. By the end game, we have 3 cure 4 casters. Let's just go. But and expensive houses, cheaper heal pots than game 2. Game 2 went to Ravioli, who made the cheeky marsh dive after finding early floater. Went in there, found the key, and we start with a Lightning 2 sword, so that's our Bane sword equivalent. So already you can see that item magic in play here.
Is it the Bane sword equivalent or the defense sword equivalent?
It is the Bane sword equivalent because we have the sword icon. If there were no icon, it would be the defense. But now Ravioli's going to open some boxes. We didn't see this in the first seed.
And that looks like a very interestingly runnable early encounter table. You just reset a couple of times to get them out of the way. And
yeah, that'll make looking for potential overworld grinds that much better in the desert area. Looking for stakes, blue stakes, or Tyros, T-Rexes, and sandworms.
Thief dead already on Ravioli's side. I like it.
You love to see it. Now let's go nuke. Wait, nuke. This is going to be what a lot of this early game is going to be for these runners. Lightning 2 sword doing work here. Bat's getting in the way. Tiamat has somewhat thick armor.
And can heal.
So there's our Cure 4. Kraken with a nuke. And we're going to talk to all the bats. Lich is fine. Chaos hits like a truck. Good to know.
Yeah.
We got Chime and Canal.
Okay.
All right. So Chime's pretty good early. It means Cube, Oxyale, or Rod are all in play. We don't got to dig out one or both of those items for the third access to a dungeon. Do you have a preference on which dungeons you do if given your choice?
I strongly do, actually. And I think this is a contentious question in the community for these flags. So, my opinion is, if I have Oxyale when I'm going to do Volcano, I will do C because it's short.
Yeah.
If I do not have Oxyale when I'm going to Waterfall, I likely am not going to do C unless it is... it's really leading me to go back. I strongly prefer to avoid Earth if I can, because it's just so many steps.
Yeah.
Oh my god, please let me go.
So, Ravioli Chekamatoya gets rewarded with a marked box that has 4 peds in it. So that's good early XP, and he does get a flame shield out of it, which is decent fighter armor. We did bring the thief back up in Canaria. I'm with you, Saracen. Definitely Volcano, because it's the free fastest one we can do. Sky, because we can do a walking grind in there if we need levels. I'm with
Sky's
you.
also just short if you're just skipping chests.
I like C. I don't mind going back to the Honorat Continent if I don't have Oxia when I'm doing Waterfall, but I don't mind Earth either if I'm doing it last, because usually by then I have levels and I'm going to morale break everything as I walk through it. But Earth takes about like 2 to 3 minutes to get through if you're go moding it, where C, it feels like if you're go moding it, it's maybe like a minute or so faster. But
there's a key from Bicky. Also, I have to shame you for not saying that the chest with the peds in it was good early EXP'd.
I'm not Phoenix. I'm not the pun guy.
Jeez.
I'm the food guy. I'm more of a fun guy.
Brack level 2.
I'll just dance to my own jokes over here.
Mm-hmm. Sure will. Wall, heal 2. I like heal 2 as a low-level spell, just, something to dump charges into.
Oh yeah, heal 2 is awesome. It saves us heal pots in Volcano. Yeah, it's great. All right, so going into the break between races, we asked chat out there what their signature dishes were, and we got some fun responses here. Lord Fizzlebeef hanging out in chat said hot dogs and ramen. I mean, sure. I like hot dogs. I like to make hot dogs with I don't ever make my own hot dogs, but I do like a good hot dog. But here's an entire bag of IKEA.
I was joking with that. Now I have a real answer when we get there.
Okay. Maple KZ, 1 pot penne and meat sauce. That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of the 1 pot, the 1 pot meals, just because it makes cleaning up a lot easier. Jesus the Frog saying spicy Parmesan cream sauce. That sounds really good. Like, it's almost like what I imagine, like when you go to like a restaurant and they have like the Cajun Alfredo kind of vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty great. Ravioli gonna check the spikes. And it's Frosties. We can nuke this. We can nuke this. We can nuke that.
We should have nuked that.
Yeah.
Instead, we're going to ambush some wolves, I guess.
Sure.
And nuke those. Just let the lit 2 sword do its job.
Mm-hmm.
Throw hands with the others.
We're going to get our crown here out of the key lock, and flame armor +1's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Yeah. So everything pulling us left makes me think ice is required.
We are going to nuke the second set of Frosties. I appreciate that. They're skinny. Oh, that was 164 from the lit 2 sword, taking one of them out. Black Mage down, not so great, but I don't necessarily consider that a problem right now.
No, like we can. Oh, that's a solo grind with that fighter.
Mm-hmm.
With is it Death Touch?
Oh,
that's a little spookier.
That was a lock stick, which is a thing, I guess. Replaces our mage stick.
Yeah, because Wizard would have like the rod icon.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be the heal staff. It could also be the heal staff.
Oh, right.
All right, Ravioli gonna take it and go, and DM finds a Cobra Scorpion pack in the free boxes within the Dwarf Cave. Hot dogs and ramen together. Might need to try this. Interesting thoughts, Herbie B. I have seen like the jokes where people run uncooked spaghetti through the hot dog and then boil it all together into just some, awful, like Cthulhu-esque nightmare of a dish.
It's trying to be like a swing set.
A Fire 2 hat. That's interesting. That's something our Black Mage can wear, by the way. Eggplant Parm talked about by Rich Bork. Phoenix29 talking about a third pan-seared duck breast with orange pan sauce with risotto and broccolini. My man, fancy boy. Wandering down slow cooker Swedish meatballs with whole grain rotini pasta. Fascinating.
I didn't quite catch the Astos item, but it had a -2, I think. So it's either the Vorpal or the Ribbon.
Early Ribbon would be clutch.
Mm-hmm. It suddenly makes those Frosties way more interesting. Oh, +2. All right, Ribbon +2 is fantastic.
Equip. Thank you.
I think there was consideration as to whether that was going to go on the Red Mage or the Fighter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Ravioli going to go with the Dwarf Lock check.
Mm-hmm.
Our runners shared in the race room DM Stewart a rump roast with gravy, mashed potatoes, and Brussels sprouts. That sounds delightful. I love a good piece of roast meat. Ravioli 500 discussed mostly homemade bread and pastas, hence the name, but his signature dish is probably arancini, which is fried rice balls. Yeah, it's like a deep fried, basically risotto that you dip into marinara sauce. I'm a big fan of anything fried that dips into marinara sauce. So good.
Mm-hmm.
A classic combination. There's the rest of our wood set for DM Stewart. Wood helmet +4, wood shield -1. That's not bad, all things considered, for as far as the absorbable roll on that wooden set.
Finally putting the thief in the front slot too. That's a big deal. Because that thief now has like 200 evade.
And Ravioli dug out a Sun +4 sword, which would be great for that red mage to swing once we get a legendary sword for that fighter. Yeah.
It's a viable endgame weapon that you just hope to transition out of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll get the job done if we don't find anything else. But the upside to that legendary sword on the fighters, we're likely gonna find the Vorpal, and then there's three other potential boxes we could open to find one of the two katanas or the X-Cal, and there's Fade locked to white mage or promotion for the red mage turning into a sage.
It's a little sad, but it's okay. We have level 1 nuke.
Yeah, and there's level 4 fast, so it's come together. I mean, we have free temper at level 8. Ravioli going to check the spikes here.
Or at least the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Agamatile.
Hello.
This is good information for later. I don't know that I want to spend time here right now. I would rather get a couple of levels while walking around and then come back to this later.
Yeah, they have about 500 HP, so that's
wrong guy.
One. The wrong one. Nice turn order.
Also, though, very good information because, man, we can use that Phantom.
Yeah, we can use that to set up our solo grind. All right, so let's see. I would imagine without early floater, both of our runners will descend on Marsh.
Mm-hmm.
As high five there through the Elven Forest. Ravioli going to go get his level 3 and 4 spells. DM heading to the Marsh Cave. Sarah, what's your
we're gonna go to mine. That's cool.
These DMs they're throwing me off. They're throwing me off of game 2. They're throwing me off here. It doesn't help that Darkmoon, our restreamer, is also on the crew.
I was just gonna read off Darkmoon's signature dish real quick. 2 marinated London broil, cooked rare with smashed potatoes, sautéed mushrooms and onions, green beans, and cream sauce. That also sounds delightful.
Yeah, it sounds great. I'm here for it.
So for myself, my signature dish is I would say it is a mild curry because my wife and daughter cannot handle spice, but start with some onions and oil, add some ginger and garlic, then we get the coconut milk, regular milk, and tomato paste, get that all going, add protein of choice and filler, like I do chicken and chickpea or chicken and potato, maybe add some broccoli in there, and then put that over jasmine rice. Bonus points if I've gotten on.
That sounds awesome. I have a shortcut curry. It's not necessarily my signature dish, but I call it a shortcut curry, where I will whisk together the coconut milk with like a can of cream and chicken soup to get the party started, and then have the protein of choice sitting in some seasoning, usually some curry powder, some ground coriander, a little bit of cumin, that kind of stuff. Garam masala if I've got it. And then sear that off, dump in the onions and your other aromatics, and then pour in your whisked together cream shortcut with a little bit of stock or water, and just let that go, like potatoes, carrots, bell pepper, mushrooms, whatever kind of vegetables you got lying around. Mm-hmm. It's like I said, shortcut curry. If you don't have a time to make a curry paste or anything like that. And the Opal Armor +3 is great to find too here for DM Stewart, and
the ship
better
was
trap.
our incentive item
Yeah.
here too, so we have access to a world.
This just
In
makes
a
me feel
world.
like ice is required. In a world where you think you know what's going on, but ice is required. Ice is going to be required. I'm not an optimistic person. Ice is going to be required. We're going to have to come back for that loot. Fire 2 on some scums. Ravioli going to get his Opal +3. Pretty good. And there's a katana -1, so there's a weapon for our fighter to swing.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to say out loud. My signature dish, and I had to think about this because like I'm a fan of cooking. There's a lot of different things I make that I think I make pretty well, but the one go-to I think is probably chili. It's the one thing that I've sort of experimented in. Was that Bane that just rolled?
It was. And it took like 4 casts of Bane to take out 2 party members.
Disgusting. Well, I mean, that's good. We got a ribbon and we got the we're set up for the 2-man grind. I would run 2-person here if I were Ravioli for a while. Really dump that XP into the fighter and red mage, because once we promote, we're going to get more levels on that fighter to get the spell charges. I don't think waiting until we're, like trying to promote as soon as possible is a requirement in these flags. But I love cooking chili though.
Worth noting, and this is why I think that equipping the red mage with the ribbon is kind of important, is the fighter starts with time, earth, and poison resist. Yeah. So that Bane wasn't going to hit the fighter anyway.
You say that.
There's always 3 and 256.
Not wearing that ribbon wouldn't necessarily preclude that. But level 10 here for DM Stewart across the whole party. Both runners kind of fighting. I think we're hard resetting because it looks like we're taking the same fights. My chili recipe has evolved over the past like 11 to 14 years. Where like when I was fresh out of the service, I would make the chili that I grew up eating, which is basically just like ground beef, canned chili beans, with like the McCormick chili seasoning packet. And that chili like feeds my soul. Like it's what I remember growing up and eating and loving as a kid. And then as I got out on my own, I started like making my own chilies. Like I can make like a simple quick chili, but it's usually chili for me is just like an all day thing. Like I'll make like I call it a chili stock, where I toast off in like a 2-quart saucepan. I'll toast off like the cumin seeds, some dried chilies, whether it's guajillo and ancho or whatever I've got. Toast them up, like cut them into pieces, toast them up, and then dump in like a quart of stock or water if you don't have like chicken stock. And then I'll wash and rinse the stems from a bunch of cilantro, throw those in there, and let that, like once it comes to a simmer or like a boil, I'll turn it off, cap it, and let the chili sort of reconstitute in there and let the cilantro flavor infuse through the stock. Silver Bracelets +4 is super good. And then blitz that with like an immersion blender and then push it through a chinois to get all those solids out. And so you have this really infused chili stock. And then meat-wise, I've done the same chili with meat and without meat. I like to put like steak and chorizo in my chili, so you have a little bit of that ground beef or that ground meat sort of texture, along with the big like stewy steak pieces. And then it's usually a mixture of fresh chilies that I've like roasted off under the broiler or on the grill, like jalapeno, poblano, serrano. If I want to make it spicy, do some habanero. Roast them off, peel them, dice them up, put them in there, and so they kind of like break down into the chili too. And then your aromatics, your onions, canned tomatoes, or fresh tomatoes if you want. and then you just like let it cook until that meat is like you push on it and it's tender. And then like seasoned with salt, pepper. If you're putting spices into it, it's chili powder, usually like an ancho, not like a generic chili powder, because that generic chili powder is also going to have like cumin and other stuff in it. But yeah, it's something like there's more to it than that, but I love making it, and I like to put I'll keep one of the jalapenos off to the side, and I'll just like slice it up and garnish the chili with it. That way there is a texture to the chili in addition to like the beans, or if you don't put the beans in there, there's like a crunch to it. It's great. DMStewart going into not volcano, this is Bahamut, as without the tail, so cheeky comparison here. Or I'm reading stuff and I'm trying to talk at the same time, Saracen. I was going to say your name as I was reading chat's J-Man talking about complaining about this chat. So I was reading complaining and I was going to say Saracen. So comparison. Here's some zombie Ds.
So want to toss out a little bit on my side from the chili. I like to put. Oh, there was a roost stick in there along with the loot.
Yeah, so this is key item go mode at 21 minutes. We just need Oxyale or Cube, and we are off and running.
So with the idea of chili, I am a huge fan of curry powder and brown sugar in my chili.
Okay.
Maybe get some bacon in there. Usually I'm kind of a ground beef person. I appreciate the steak idea. That maybe I should be considering that more strongly as well. Though I am supposed to cut down on red meat, unfortunately.
That's fair.
You
can also do it with pork.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out really well. You can do like a pork and turkey and kind of get the same vibe. But the chorizo is like, it really like kind of elevates it because you get those not curry flavors, but like often like those chorizo, they have like a cinnamon kind of like warm allspice kind of vibe to them that you'll sometimes get that feeling from a curry as well. But we're talking about, I mean, I think you can have chili at breakfast.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite things is to go to Waffle House and get the hash brown smothered covered, what's it? Scattered, smothered, covered, and topped, which is basically just chili cheese fries with hash browns. It's so good. So good.
There's a little Greasy Spoon diner in town here that has what's called the smothered Kirby. I don't know if this is a thing anywhere else, but it's basically hash browns with Eggs Benedict.
Unlike Eggs Benedict, the Argoyles have glaze. You don't want to overcook your poached eggs when you're making an Eggs Benny. Yeah. Unless you don't like the runny yolk. I know there's folks out there that don't do the runny yolks, but Argoyles with glaze, disgusting. Not runny yolks. Argoyles with glaze are disgusting.
Yes.
I didn't like runny yolks for a long time until I was like an adult, but now I appreciate the runny yolk, especially like on a breakfast sandwich. Like it's so good. But when I make breakfast for my wife and I, she often will always want like the over medium, over easy eggs, and I'll inevitably, when I'm cracking them into the bowl before I put them in the pan, one of the yolks will get broken. And it's like, all right, these are my eggs. Just because it's fine. I'll eat these, and I'll just end up like scrambling, put some like hot sauce on them. But a question from chat from our tracker: are you the only one that likes to take the sorcerer fights? I like taking sorcerer fights, especially if they roll down on HP and we have level 1 nuke. I don't know if they roll down on HP, but sometimes you could take them out with like a lightning 2, and it feels great. Sometimes they roll like almost 200 HP, and that feels bad. Yeah. Especially when they roll a touch attack. But it seems here we have a pretty light script on them, if not anything at all. I'm fascinated that our runners here are holding hands. The seed is really wide open to us, but Opal +2 bracelet. Pretty nice. I think another one of my signature dishes, again, it's not like that mind blowing of a dish, but I love to make cheeseburgers at home. It's one of my favorite meals of all time. It's just a simple cheeseburger because it's so versatile. And last night I bought some lamb because I'm making shepherd's pie on Monday, and I've been trying to get more into like grinding my own meat at home, so like you kind of understand like the single source meat and stuff, which I'm luckily enough at a place in my life where I can afford to be a little more picky with that kind of stuff. And there's Adamant for more deals. And so it was basically the same price for this like partially deboned leg of lamb per pound as it was to buy the pre-ground lamb. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to practice grinding my own meat, and then I'll have some extra. So I'm going to make some sausage with it probably in a couple weeks, make a little merguez style sausage. And I'm super excited for that. I love sausages, and I've been making sausage at home, and I did a breakfast sausage where part of it, in addition to like the pork scraps, was putting bacon into the grind. So it's basically, imagine a breakfast sausage patty that tastes like breakfast sausage, but also bacon. It's like the best of it. It's the best of both worlds. And I'm almost out of it. I have a little bit left, and I'm going to turn it into biscuits and gravy. And I'm super excited to see how that turns out.
I love biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
My wife made a crock pot bread last night, and so that's all I've had for breakfast. I know, like I've never heard of that before.
There's our shop item. So this could be huge for DM. I mean, both of our runners are in key item go mode. Ravioli going to turn in the Adamant, but when DM comes here,
tail. Okay,
he's going to be able to turn in the TNT as well. And now Ravioli's going to have to sail back, but we'll be promoted slightly sooner than DM. But as far as proximity routing, DM's in a little bit better of a spot here, especially if the waterfall gives us Oxy Ale.
Yeah, the nice thing that we have going on for DM Stewart is if the Oxy Ale is what turns up here, that's an easy dungeon to get into, and with that 200 evade thief sitting up front, you can be relatively safe going into the Kraken fight. Now, what I did notice in menuing is the katana was sitting unequipped on the thief, so I don't know that he remembers the legendary sword bonus on the fighter.
Yeah. Alright, Ravioli fully promoted. Gonna walk out of Bahamut's, and I would imagine we're gonna head into the waterfall. As DM Stewart is about halfway through it. I like that Ravioli's making. See, that's what I'm saying, Saracen. I can't try to guess what people are gonna do.
Looks like we're going to an ice and volcano play?
Maybe.
Or did no? Ravioli definitely went into the sages.
Are we going back to grind on those Agama?
I wouldn't hate it.
No, maybe we're doing ice volcano. We may have faded the sages. No, he's got rod. He's got the rod.
He checked sages. I remember that.
Yeah. And robot with the bottle. So ice is floater, or it's from the or it's the TNT.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
If it's the TNT, that's pretty big deal for DM Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're buying life 2 and exit. I like this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I respect that.
Yeah. Especially if we're anticipating a floaterless run and we're not going to be able to buy all the magic we want in Lethane with the super shop.
So one of the things that I, like to impart on the newer runners is make use of the river dock when you have speedboat. This is going to be a long canoe trip to go back to your regular boat when you've finished ice.
Yeah, that vanilla boat dock here for right on the edge of the screen there is where you want to be parking your boat for hitting Ice Cave. If you got the speedboat and you're just doing ice, it is a little bit quicker.
I mean, it's a little bit quick. Oh, not saving so we can reset. Okay.
a man after my own heart. Saving on the overworld is overrated. But Jesus the Frog, I mean, we could put that Sun plus 4 sword on the Red Wizard and give the fighter the katana and Limb the Cat. What if you don't see the key item and die? We don't deal with those sort of negative thinking. Nothing can go wrong. This is Wishful Thinking Tournament 2023. Some folks say it stands for a winter tournament. It's really wishful thinking.
Scott-tastrophe asking about required orbs. It's 3 any for the lower bracket, but once we get to the round of 8, it will be 3 specific. So the black orb will tell us what orbs we need to get when we go talk to it. And then we know what we have to go get.
Yep. And that means we will have to double dip Topher before coming into the end game. So it'll be interesting to see where runners take that check. Is it waiting for key, doing it immediately after leaving the inner sea?
TNT is the floater. There's an eye tile.
Ravioli. Never punished. It is not a free eye grind, but
I think I like the Agaba better.
Yeah. We don't know if there's scripts in here.
Yeah. The real problem with that eye tile is where it's located, because we don't have warp. So, we can exit whatever we want, assuming the red mage is alive. However, if we want to grind here, he's going to take a couple of them. That's respectable. But if we grind here, that means we still have to walk to the incentive chest after. Yeah. Also, this is going to make the idea of resetting out of here a non-starter.
Yeah.
That's why, that's the other thing that I don't like about it, is you can take this, sure. But what if you didn't want this in the first place?
You can see the difference in 2-man versus 4-man here, too, as both of our runners have taken sort of an equal amount of fights up until this ravioli grind here. One party is level 24, the other one is mid-teens across the board. So
yeah,
super fast levels here for the 2-man party, and that's not even with a full complement of key items. Yeah, because we're approaching in-game levels now for ravioli. I would love to see those swords get swapped around, though. I mean, it is, I guess, not necessarily Seed Bleed isn't real, but we might have forgot that the fighter has the ability to equip that katana. It is not a common occurrence.
This is one of the reasons that I really appreciate the idea of naming your characters after relevant blurses. But I am also the kind of person who normally does the A, B, 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 B thing.
Yeah.
So.
All right, DMStewart in the air. Gonna check this bottle. I mean, we were in go mode, so the possibility of doing all this floaterless is still available for ravioli. If this ice cave has cube or oxyale.
So we have slab and we have ice. And here's DM going to do the promotion. But that basically has to... we could get the ruby or the herb or the crystal to lead into one of the other incentive for dungeon.
Yeah.
But
All right, so we're finished grinding. We're gonna go see the rest of what this place has to offer, and we're gonna check the better trap treasure.
We're equipping some silver knife +1 action on the mages. Okay. I mean, those are actions you can take.
Here comes the great gear shuffle. I'd love to see that ribbon land on the red mage.
I agree. When you've got as many resists as you have on the fighter already, and they're relevant resists.
I missed the box, but our tracker calling out a fast +5 staff in
the
that's better
big.
treasure. Yeah, that's huge.
Like, you're not guaranteed a Saber Bonk power gauntlet in this, but man, fast stick, real solid.
Yeah. Because that means we potentially man mode this if we need to. With the fighter with the roost stick. I mean, next thing you know, we're going to pull out like a Cure 4X.
Oh yeah, hey, I forgot about Sarda, because airship.
Mm-hmm.
Gives
There's
us
herb, so
yeah.
DMStewart, there's Dragon -1. Opal +3 is still better, but the Dragon one will complement our baked-in resistances a little better.
We're out of nuke charges.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We got a fire hat. What happened to the fire hat? The fire hat will get rid of the wolves anyway. And we're trying to brag giants. Okay. Yeah, let's use that fire hat to get rid of the wolves at least, to plow the road. Yeah, so that means our fighter knight is only susceptible to status element, which is pretty good. Still scary because there are stops in the pool for the fiend bosses or the fiend refights, but pretty sure we had low level Cure 4 though too, which is also great. Lynn the cat expressing concern for Ravioli's ice dive because we're not out of the woods just yet. Anything can happen here, but we got a Gershark, so we're going to use that fast stick and swing and say goodbye to the Gershark.
Farewell, Gershark. There's our ruby.
Yep, so now we can exit, we can build a house, and we have one charge of exit, so happy day. Let's go clear a volcano.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can do Earth while we do the ruby turn-in and potentially do this floaterless. So as long as the herb turns into... Well, I guess the herb doesn't have to turn into something because the ruby could. Oxyalar Cube, that's all we need for Ravioli.
Yep.
DMStewart with a little bit of an advantage, having that airship going to make the overworld maneuverability that much faster for him. And picks up the free pro ring from the Better Trap Treasure. That's a great thing to put on that ninja with the Wood Set of Aid.
Yep.
The only slot you can equip is a bracer.
Which feels real bad. Like,
yeah, the wood set can be great when it's on like a thief or a black mage, but it often feels like a trap because you're opting into no ribbon. But with the thief, I can see the point if we're not relying on the thief to be our melee carry. If we're running fighter thief, it's fine. But if we're running thief and mages, like it's so spooky to me to just have to rely on having wall early and often. But if it's the backup, it's the backup, and that's fine. So evasion tank is activated.
Mm-hmm. Ravioli not going to check the top left room for the Better Trap Treasure.
There's damage.
Damage poison.
Level 30 now. Those are some pretty big light warriors.
Yep.
Both runners racing to get their first orblet. We have Earth on the Agama tile.
Excal +5.
Oh my goodness.
We have an excuse to move that sun sword.
But
I mean, what?
Okay.
That's a big sword find. That's a big Agama box.
So you get 3 Agamas. Do you run away and reopen the box hoping for 4 Agamas?
No, I take what has been given to me and enjoy it. There's not enough reason to go for the 4th Agama here versus the time loss of, running and refighting.
There's second ribbon. So Malakoth in chat saying Ravioli not going to get that one. I disagree. Ravioli might open that box. It is the free Better Trap Treasure in Earth 3. So, and it's a very free check. So,
I think it is less likely that DM Stewart gets that ribbon than Ravioli getting that X-Cal.
As we saw in Game 2, DM was more of, as he would call it, loot goblin-y, where he goes out of his way to open a lot of the boxes, where Ravioli was streamlined. So Ravioli probably only going to be opening boxes that have a little X on them, meaning that there's a better item within it. But it's also a fight. But man, all those Agama.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Ravioli going to head to the Melmon region, turn in that ruby, talk to Sarda, talk to the Titan, get the herb, find out what's in Titans, and probably do Earth Cave while we're here. So Ravioli in a pretty good. He's in a pretty good spot. He's got the promo Sage Red Wizard, and I would imagine at some point soon the other 2 Light Warriors will come up just to get extra spell charges and levels on them, so they have a little greater survivability within Topher once we're comfortable with our damage output. And I think once we see that X-Cal +5, we're going to be comfortable with our damage output. With a fast stick plus X-Cal 5? Come on, man. Let me get seeds like this, please. So much fun to swing that X-Cal and just destroy people. Just watch. If Dave gets a swing off on this, yeah, there it is. For it's 495. And that's not even a leveled knight. It's a level 18 knight. Just one shot in chaos, or Lich. You'll love to see it. And we did see a map check, so if you got water out there, take a sip. I'm almost out of coffee here. Alright, here comes an herb check. DM both runners with 1 orb lit. Let's see what this herb do.
That's a crystal. Well, we'll find out soon.
Gross. Did he park at the southern dock too? Okay. Oh no, he flew here. Okay, so there's Cube. So Ravioli in key item and dungeon item go mode.
Which means that we're going to get the Oxyale out of this.
Or the Vorpal. Right?
Oh, we have a slab. Oh, there's the Oxyale. Alright, slab's going to be the Vorpal then. But we don't care about no Vorpal.
Did we find Incentive Ribbon? Yes, it was Astos. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trekker. Asking questions and looking to the right. Cure 2 +2 hammer. Oh man.
That's
it's not the worst, but it's pretty good. Yeah, Thor hammer with free Cure 2. It's gonna be like drinking 4 heal pots in a battle. All at once.
So I would say don't sleep on that because it's real powerful.
Yeah, with improved cure turned on these flags, it's gonna do pretty good.
I've seen it salvage bad chaos fights.
Gold bracelet +3 is also pretty good to find.
Mm-hmm.
And that red mage or red wizard finally with enough levels to start earning level 8 slots is now. So the way the bonus magic incentives work are they're going to show up at level 8. You're going to have 2 charges. Typically, the red mage red wizard doesn't learn any spells at level 8, but will still accrue charges in that slot. So all of those charges are now just free tempers. So you love to see it. DM Stewart going to go to Lafayne. He's going to get his Vorpal +5.
Oh, that's also huge. That's going to be a huge chaos weapon.
Yeah. I know DM Stewart not a fan of the Vorpal typically, but when it rolls +5, you gotta be a fan of it.
Yeah.
Cleaning up magic shops here. We're going to pick up Night Magic. We're going to pick up that Fade for the Red Wizard. And Vis 2 is pretty good too for the Knight. More evasion. Although we do have the Rue Stick, it's still nice to have a off-slot evasion. There's Life 2, Exit. I'm surprised you didn't pick up Heal 3.
I was just thinking the same thing. There's nothing at Black Magic that I care about other than potentially Temper. Mm-hmm. So see where it landed. Not here. It's looking sketchy. All right, level 7 on rack shop. EU.
And we ran out of money. So here's Ravioli checking the free box here is going to get that X-Cal. Oh, big old water. So that's a deep puddle. Deep punch. Alright. And got to deal with some jerk birds and mummies.
Ambushing jerk birds and mummies. The worst kind. So, DM Stewart having run out of money is, I think, less of a big deal because we know it's going to be in the on-rack shop. We can do C because we have the Oxyale and have money after that.
Yeah. Alright, so that's where DM is heading. Gonna do Oxyale. So this is I agree with Linda Cat in chat. This is going to be a really close race, as Ravioli has to clear Earth 4, sail to Onrak because we're going floaterless. Well, the Onrak area, we're going to probably just sail up to. Well, that's always tricky routing. I guess to sail from Melmond to the Mirage dock.
Yeah, that routing is horrid. You probably sail south and then cut over west.
Yeah, probably.
It's hard. It's really bad no matter what direction you go.
Yeah. We're gonna swing. We did put the Sun Sword onto the Ninja, so that Ninja is gonna...
I don't think that Vorpal is equipped, which is real sad.
Ravioli doesn't have the Vorpal.
I was looking at DM side because I saw a Red Mage swing a Silver Knife.
Yeah, like I said, DM doesn't like the Vorpal sword. He frequently talks down about it, and when we hang out and do morning races, but you know, you gotta learn to respect any sword that'll get you through Topher. And a Vorpal +5 will always do it.
Yep.
Guardian Marcus does let us know that the
Thief Sword
the Red
Malice.
Wizard does have the Thief Sword Malice, but still, Vorpal +5 is way better than a Katana -1.
And I think better than a Sun +4, generally.
Yeah. The crit on it is off the charts, so I think it's like a +75 crit.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Alright. Ravioli gonna turn in his herb, which will lead to a crystal.
Which is super disappointing.
Yeah. Now, if we continue sailing south, we can hit Matoya through the river dock. Instead of going all the way back around into the inner sea, and if it's not great, then we can just sail over to Mirage, you know.
Alright, we're going the east route. I can respect that.
Yeah,
Having gone from the herb following the continent makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
It kind of sucks sailing around the Lefane bit.
There's second katana for DM Stewart here in the Sharknado room, and metal slimes on the tile.
We should not be worrying about a professional cape.
But it's so professional. We got an interview later today.
Right?
Yeah, I guess the DM and DM. It's so confused. It's breaking my brain. DM Stewart isn't self-admitted has a problem not opening boxes. So it's not the worst play, but Ravioli is just standing on that gas pedal and is just going. We're gonna do this floaterless. We got levels on our principal light warriors. The Red Wizard and Knight are our keys through the end game, and I would imagine at some point that Black Mage will come back up for the Topher dive, just if anything to have another body to swing at.
Yeah. And, the one nice thing about the routing that Ravioli has taken is with Sky being the final dungeon, it's just a sail over to the Matoya dock to walk down to Topher.
Yeah.
Damage poison comes out, taking out the ninja from these fire hydrants.
Yeah, the ninja is fine. Red Wizard Knight gonna be able to soak this fight, get some more levels. I mean, this is good XP either way.
They chonky.
Question from chat: do we have a Ruse stick for sure in the pool? Yes, Ruse stick is guaranteed, and they found it in Bahamut. They both found it. So, and along with the cure stick and the fast staff, yeah, we have everything we could possibly want. And we have cure 4 on the night. Like, we're fine. We're ready for Topher. All right, Kraken 1 for DMStewart. We're gonna swing and we're gonna double fast. So swing before the fast 3 hits 103. Fast comes out, lands. Unfortunately, all our timing is wrong. 2 hits 167, but this round of swinging should do far more damage. I'm sure we're going to back it up with not nukes, but we're going to go in Biz 2s and Brax. If we're committing to the damage play, I would have loved to just see those 2 Light Warriors just spamming nukes to support, but Brack, it's going to Brack.
Yep.
Hey, it's a Warmech. There's more levels.
Mm-hmm.
Level 35, we're definitely fine. We got 700 HP. And as we're walking back to TOF, and we get another one? Oh my god. Like, that's just, let's go.
Oh, man.
We're going to be able to pick up...
Fighter got rubbed through the ribbon. Or wait, no, was there a ribbon on the...
No.
There was.
There was not. It was on the red meat. Oh, it was? Oh my...
Because ravioli has 2.
Yeah, so that's... Okay. Cut our losses. I would have liked to have seen one more round, just dump some nukes into that fight, because we did get 700 damage into that Warmech. It would have given our Red Wizard more levels and make our Ninja respectable, but I also understand the safety play. Nuclear could have been right behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dark Moon in chat pointing out, move that fighter to the 4 slot, or at least into the 2nd slot, because that 3 and 256 did happen in the 3rd slot. It could be the unlucky slot, as Ravioli lights his 3rd orb at the 52-minute mark.
Well, it's guaranteed to be one of up to 3 unlucky slots.
Yeah, but sometimes there can be more than 1, 3, 2, 6 on an unlucky slot.
It's true.
That's happened to me. Free steak and wings, sure. Let's get our protein on our way out of here. More levels on that ninja. The more levels on that ninja,
for days.
The greater natural evade it'll have. The more off tank damage it'll be able to do. But yeah, I think we wake up that Black Wizard, put it in slot 3, put our Red Mage in slot 4, Fighter slot 2, and we just go. But definitely we want to pick up Cure 4 on... Oh, we're gonna check Matoya. We're gonna get the disappointment, and Oxy will probably just reset back. Yep.
You just have to know is the problem.
I mean, it could have been the Vorpal, so it's worth checking.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely gonna buy Cure 4 on this night, if nothing else.
Such a big spell for the night.
Yeah.
Please, old lady.
And
like
nuke
my
on the
nukes.
ninja.
My 1 nuke slot.
Ravioli headed into Topher. Oh, we don't have any houses. I guess we're out of houses. So use that Canarian hospitality as DM lights his 3rd orb. We're gonna have simultaneous Topher dives, but first DM's gonna do some last minute. Nope, he saw that we had houses and heals. We're gonna go.
We had A4 heals, which means we are overflowing.
Please, Pat. All right, look at this. Simultaneous Topher dives. We got ourselves a race.
Heck yeah, we do. Looks like they're on different parts of the encounter table. DM deciding to take these worms, which may not be a bad idea. A little bit lower on the levels overall. That's 24 across the board.
Ravioli leaning into the run strats. So Ravioli with the better levels, DM with the promotion and more levels spread evenly across the party. We'll see how this pans out.
I think worth noting as well is I don't know that Ravioli's Ninja has the full wood set, which is going to give a huge... Yeah. The evade bonus on that Ninja is really nice. Even though you don't like have the ribbon on there, it's a good safety for the dive. We're looking for a mandolin.
All right, Ravioli slightly ahead of DMStewart here, who's taking the fight running from. Well, I guess we're doing both. We're swinging and running. I think you have to commit to one or the other. Mm-hmm. So either all run or all fight. But here we go. We're going to swing, nuke. No, cake. Call for cake strats. Sun +4, 4 hits 295. Ink from Lich 2. It's going to give us a free round. Cake comes out. Does work.
Not.
6 hits, 883. X-Cal doing wonderful X-Cal things. Big difference here is the Vorpal Sword when we hit Chaos. DMStewart will have it. Ravioli.
Oh, the Agamas had Stone Touch.
That's fine. We have a soft, it looked like.
I wonder if you decide to just keep that Ninja stoned as like a backup ablative meat shield for the future.
Mm-hmm. No, we're just waiting until we got through the carry floor, so we didn't see another because we only had the one soft. That's a heads up play. So nukes and swings. 4 hits, 474. Zap comes through. Says goodbye to our lower level light warriors. Fast port turn order there. Comes out after the swing with 12 hits, 1423. X-Cal proving its efficacy with a +5 bonus in these flags.
And Zap showing its proficiency as an American gladiator that Dead Pulse loves.
American Gladiator is pretty good. Zap a better spell than American Gladiators as a show, but that's just my unpopular opinion.
I have been enjoying the red mage is down.
SpaghettiOs for DMStewart. We don't have a life caster, so we are now in effective buddy system. Level 25 across the board. Now we do have fast and ruse sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not in trouble just yet. But we're gonna nuke, we're gonna lock, we're gonna swing, we're gonna fast. I didn't see if there was damage there. I hope there was damage there, and that wasn't cracking with Death Touch. But 5 hits, 975. Nuke, swing, nuke. Okay, Invested. Nuke comes out, 188. Swing should take care of Kraken. So 7 hits, 951. If this Kraken has Death Touch, we are in trouble. I didn't see damage when it killed the Black Mage, but sometimes Kraken hitting a Black Mage is just Death Touch, regardless of whether or not it has the status element on it. But luckily for DMStewart, it has that wood set evade, so that Ninja dipping and diving all these punches from Kraken too. Kraken does have a spell list as Ravioli takes on Tia 2.
The Ravioli just in a healthier position overall with the Red Mage still standing. It's unfortunate that we're two-manning here. But we have seen some races decided where the rest of the party goes down and the man mode is sufficient and the menu time is a big enough difference.
Mm-hmm. Ravioli on and through. I would imagine both runners' eyes glued to... One eye glued to the screen, the other one crossed over looking at the race room.
Mm-hmm.
5 hits, 5 damage. Wonderful opportunity for that Vorpal Sword as the Cure 4 comes out, but we're still swinging X-Cal. 5 hits, 228. 4 hits, 4 damage. This is where, like you said, the Vorpal Sword can do wonders here to get through that absorb on Tiamat. Ravioli pulls Chaos. We're going to fast. We're going to lock. We're going to swing. And we're going to invis too. nuclear comes through. Everybody's going to survive, but massive damage there to our front line as DM Stewart gets through Tia 2. The invis comes out. We're going to nuke. We're going to nuke. We're going to swing. Swing. No, we're going to roost. We're going to temper. All right. Nuke from the ninja. 226. Pretty good roll. Nuke from the Black Wizard. 176. Black Wizard punished for its hubris. We're going to lock some more. We're going to ruse. We're going to temper. I did DM equip the Vorpal sword?
Yes, the Vorpal and the Katana were both equipped.
All right.
We're starting with Invis 2 from the Knight, though, so this is... That ninja is very dodgy. But we're continuing to Invis 2 rather than jumping to the ruse stick here.
Mm-hmm.
Box continuing to come out on Ravioli side. 9 hits, 802. Whew. Nuclear comes out and takes out the Knight on DM Stewart's side.
We're in trouble.
We are in trouble. These 2 hits, 50 damage is not great to see.
All right, we just lost the Red Wizard. We're just going to continue to lock and swing. We just lost the Ninja. It is full-on man mode time. Excal, 12 hits, 701. Ravioli takes the double header. We'll move on to the round of 32. Get those GGs in chat for Ravioli.
That is a tornado wiping DM Stewart, who
That's
has
unfortunate.
Opted to forfeit. Completely understandable, but we'll see about the interviews.
We do have DM Stewart with us. GG's DM, unfortunately, not moving on to the round of 32. How are you feeling, man?
I got 2 more wins than I expected to get out of this tournament.
There you go. You raced really well. I think there are still some like minor tweaks here and there that could really shave some time.
It took me too long to dan off in that first one. In race 2, it took me too long to dan off the rest of my party to get the black belt grind online.
Yeah, I mean I think. Oh man, trying to remember 2 seeds ago. I think the first race it really came down to, not some like because your grind you and Ravioli were grinding at the same time. You were grinding the Eyes and Ordeals. Ravioli was grinding Zombies and Northwest. I think the difference in game 2, the early race, was Ravioli. GG's on both of the wins today in chat with us and voice with us. The big brain play was heading into Marsh early for Ravioli and getting the key, which put him in go mode way before you did. But this race, it felt like it was neck and neck. Like you guys were doing a lot of the same things at a lot of the same time. I think the time sink for you, DM, was opening boxes.
Yeah, there was a lot of box checking in the seed that you already had weapons and defensive gear, and
I wanted that better shield. Wanted a decent shield for my fighter. That was the big one. Was just some kind of a better shield than for most of that seed. It was a silver +2.
That's a